My fellow Jedi, we are at a time of turmoil. We are at a time when terrible things have been done by people who are extremists, who seek the most extreme of views from a religious perspective and seek to harm and kill others to achieve their goals. In times like this, in moments of crisis like this, it is natural to feel fear and anger. Fear tells us what we do not wish to happen to us, what we wish to avoid, what we do not wish to be brought into our lives, into our sphere of influence. Anger tells us what we wish to change, what we want to make different in the world. These emotions serve a purpose in that way, but that is the only purpose they serve for a Jedi. And instead they are static, which clouds our minds and hinders our ability to truly connect to the fullness of the Force, the infiniteness of the Force, the extraordinary depth of the Force. We must, however, connect to the Force in times like this and seek its tranquility, seek its resolve, seek its infinite peace, harmony, balance, and wisdom. It is times like this when we as Jedi will be called upon to be the pillars of our community, to be strong, to be resolved, to be focused, and above all, be calm, balanced, and able to be there for others. Now you yourself as a Jedi may be going through turmoil. At this moment, you may be in the center of this, or you may know people who are, or you may have strong, close connections, and it is okay for this to be hard to do. It is expected that this will be a difficult time for you. In fact, if it wasn't, you wouldn't be human, and you probably wouldn't be Jedi. But it is times like now, where meditation and contemplation on the infiniteness of the Force is necessary. Many lives were lost, and yet they return to the Force, to the infinite flow of the Force. From where they came, they now go back to. And that is sad. It is painful. And it's okay for it to be sad and painful, especially if you've lost a loved one. Your meditations are there to help you ground when you need to be grounded, to help you find balance. They are not a replacement for grief. They are not a replacement even for the emotions themselves. They are a counterbalance, a way of working within the emotional spectrum so that you can still, as a Jedi, help yourself and help others. If you've lost someone during this period of time, you should be focusing on helping yourself first. You can aid others later, when you have time to find more balance. However, you cannot give in to anger or fear. These emotions will control you if you let them. These emotions will drive you to terrible places. Without doubt, justice will be a thing that comes after this. Without doubt, though, it will be higher powers than the individual. Now is the time to remember that your friends and neighbors, who may be of the religion that is indirectly responsible for this, and I say indirectly because an extremist is an extremist regardless. They would be extreme no matter what their religion. They seek extremity. They seek a reason to hurt others. The religion is just an excuse. These people, as extremists, do not represent the whole of that culture or of those people. And it is as important for Jedi to remember that as it is for us to be there for those that are hurt. Now is not the time for you as a Jedi to preach harmony and balance to those who are hurt. They will not be ready to hear. You are to be the ear that listens, and the compassionate hand on the shoulder. You are to be the one that is there for when they cry, and to be steady, sturdy, and stable yourself. Now is not the time for us as Jedi in any capacity to seek justice. We are not in the place to. There will be a time when the world's governments, when the different forces in play, and those with the information and with the power to do something, do. This is not something that you take to others in your town, in your county, or in your city. You will not find justice next door. You will not find justice in hurting someone else who was unrelated to these events because they share a commonality of religion. Instead, if you would like to find justice, your part in justice, unless you are boots on the ground, involved directly, unless you are someone who is deployed or part of a police force action at this moment, your job is to heal, to ground, to be the center pillar that holds up the rest when they begin to crumble. Your job is to be in alignment with the Force and its infinite peace, and allow that to guide your words towards healing ones. Your job is to exude an aura of healing for all those around you, an aura of strength, compassion, and understanding. Your job is to be both the mountain and the ocean. You must have the flow of the ocean as the Force flows through you, and the strength of the mountain as the Force strengthens you, guides you to a state of true strength, true oneness with it. The Force imparts invaluable lessons to us in the form of the virtues, in the form of patience, mindfulness, and compassion. The Force shows us that we can be more than our base level instincts. Now is the time to be the person that others need in that moment, if and when you can be. You may not have the training to do that right now. You may be new to the path, or you may have lost your way, or never gained the skills, and that's okay too. That's why you take the time to meditate. Find that focus, that centering, and that grounding. Maybe 4 or 5 times a day if you need to. You might not be as grounded as the next Jedi across from you, but that's okay. By being a little more grounded, a little more focused, and a little bit more in harmony than you would have been, you will spread the power of the Force itself by your presence to those around you. By being just a little bit better than you would have been, you will be a calming influence, for the contrast will be enough. Don't worry that you're not going to do this right. We have a calling to this, to be there when others need us, and to be the strength of the Force flowing into the world. And now, more than ever, is that time that we must answer that calling as Jedi and be there for those in the world who need us, to be that strength. Find your inner calm. Find your resolve. And if you cannot find those things, focus on the Force and its infinite calm as much as you can. A drop in the ocean does not raise the water level, but a drop every second for a year does. Understand that the little bit you can do still makes a difference locally, where you're at. The world is the ocean. Where you are is but a cup of water, and a drop a second will raise the water level on a cup of water really fast. Maybe you can't tap into that flow completely, Maybe you're too beside yourself with grief, or even fear, or anger. Focus on the Force as much as you can. Focus on the code. Focus on finding peace, harmony, balance within yourself, grounding out those negative emotions. Focus on the light. Focus on compassion. And through this, not only will you get through this, but you will also help others on their way. Even if it is just by your presence being rooted in the Force a little bit more than it would have been. As Jedi, we have the power to make a difference in the world. But never should we be called to vengeance. Instead, as Jedi, we are called to protect and to heal. As Jedi, we recognize that we do not stand against evil. We stand for good. And while that may put us in opposition to evil, we do not seek a fight. We do not search for someone to take our anger out on. Instead, we try to find the calm where we can. We focus on the Force. And we try to help those around us. In parting, may I say, not only may the Force guide and protect you, but through you, may it guide and protect others.